Mary meet Annie here. Today I have a charge of the dark God for you. I said I'd be sharing poetry every now and then. I'm fond of this particular charge. I like to collect charges. You know, over the years when I've been reading books by pagan authors, very rarely have I had something new to think about, although there are exceptions to that. Glorious exceptions to that. In general, what I've enjoyed in those books is the poetry. Quarter calls, charges, invocations, blessings. That's what's kept me buying books for years. Now, I haven't bought books in a decade now. Retirement life doesn't really permit that. But, oh, the collection of things I have now that grew over the years in which I was eagerly looking forward to purchasing metaphysical and witchy books. I have this in my Book of Shadows, and I have a note that the author of it was Christopher Hatton, Hatton. I don't know who he is. It says author in my reference to the words. If anybody happens to know who Christopher Hatton is, I'd love to know so I can give him more credit in my book than just his name. I tried Googling him. I found him referenced on a couple websites, actually with this very same charge, but I also found this charge, of course. I hate the internet for this, folks. That's why I'm picky about referencing sources. Websites, homegrown websites, where there's just lists and lists of things and no one ever credits anyone. Yeah, that's a little bugaboo as far as I'm concerned. But I never found anything that said, well, who is this author, Christopher Hatton? Especially since I really like these words that he wrote. So I want to share this charge of the God with you. This is today's post. Listen to the words of the dark God, who was of old called Lakos, Don, Anubis, Hades, Satesh, Hodor, and by many other names. I am the shadow in the bright day. I am the reminder of mortality at the height of living. I'm the never-ending veil of night where the star goddess dances. I am the death that must be so that life may continue. For behold, life is immortal because the living must die. I am the strength that protects, that limits. I am the power that says no and no further, and that is enough. I am the things that cannot be spoken of, and I am the laughter at the edge of death. Come with me into the enfolding dark. Feel my caresses in the hands, in the mouth, in the body of the one you love, and be transformed. Gather in the moonless night and speak in unknown tongues. The dark mother and I will listen. Sing to us and cry out, and the power will be yours to wield. Blow me a kiss when the sky is dark, and I will smile, but no kiss return, for my kiss is the final one for all mortal flesh. One of my favorite charges of the dark God I've ever read. So much to consider in there. The power of saying no, not no further. Enough is enough. The beauty of the death that's part of loving physically. The total giving over and vulnerability of being with your partner. It's a death of self in a way. And the beauty of blowing kisses to the dark sky. When I was a baby witch, we used to, at full moon, offer a blessing to the goddess where we kissed our palm, and to the god we kissed our wrist. When I read this again, because it comes up in my Book of Shadows of meditation every time this year, I thought about that and thought about the last time I'd even done this particular mudras. Well, shame on me, it's been a long time. And the idea of going out into the dark of night and offering a kiss to the dark sky in honor of the dark god. Well, that's something I think I'm going to be doing a lot during the season of Mabon. The words, by the way, are going to be, as a lot of my videos are, offered as transcriptions on my Patreon page. The free part, don't worry about having to pay, you can go there and get them. In case you want to do as I do with this every year, sit with it and be inspired by some of those beautiful words. I wish you all mirth and reverence in the season of Mabon. Merry part.